Hey, you.
Theme song.
Welcome back, everybody. Don't know why I said it like that. We are
Everybody.
everybody. You just gotta hit every syllable.
Yeah.
That's what makes a good intro.
100%. Factual.
We are the 8-bit idiots.
Yes.
My name is Lindsay.
And my name is Connor.
You didn't hit every syllable. You've got
And
it.
my name is I'm over it.
All right. This is a podcast where we talk about whatever Connor and I feel like at the time.
Yeah. Regardless of popular opinion.
Yeah, which is none. Nil. No popular opinion.
No.
Today, I think, like last week, we might try a little topic of the week sort of thing.
Ooh.
We didn't actually call it a topic of the week last week. It was just something that we did. But
now it is.
Yeah, when we're talking about Star Wars, the RPG, who would like to make it, we'll call that our topic of the week. And today, we've got another topic of the week.
Yes, we
So you'll get that later. So you got to listen.
To find out.
Yeah, I'm well aware that you can just skip ahead, but don't.
Don't. It ruins the surprise and the suspense.
Yeah, that's just rude. What do you want to talk about, buddy?
Well, there's lots I want to talk about, actually.
Oh.
Mainly games.
I got nothing.
You got nothing.
I got nothing.
I got stuff.
All right, hit me.
I'm the guy with the stuff.
Hit me with the stuff.
You out of a game called Vampyr.
Got a couple of grams of stuff.
Shut up. You
Yeah,
idiot.
Vampyr. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to edit
Yeah.
this. No, I'm super excited for Vampyr. I've been following it for a long time.
I haven't, but I am well on board.
Yeah. Fuck, it looks good. And I like the setting of it.
That whole 1900s
Yeah, 18th century sort of thing.
shitty London.
Shitty London.
Well, what else would you describe London in that era?
Well, a lot of people would describe London in any era like that. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, okay. Well, I've never been, so I'm not going to comment on real world London, but I've been to a lot of game world Londons, and most of the time they're shitty.
All right, so I've been following Vampyr a lot for a fair while, probably since it was announced, like a couple of years back.
Yep.
Hit me with some dates though. Okay,
Well,
fill in this lovely.
lovely tale of vampirism.
Not what I was going to say, but sure.
That's what I'm going to say.
I was going to say like fill in the dates for this lovely, beautiful looking audience.
Ah, you're my audience.
Oh, well, that's what I mean.
Well, Vampyr, as the name...
With a Y.
Yeah, with a Y, all right? So it's a little bit
It's
misleading.
Vampire, like fire pyre.
Or is it Pyr? Vampyr. We could be saying it wrong the whole time.
I'm pretty sure it's intentionally pyre, like, because the whole aspect of the game is like vampires are running rampant and they're getting stronger and all that sort of shit. So it's pyre, like you like a pile of wood. And you keep adding more to it. That does not come from
That
the
does
creators.
not line up at all. But I'm going to roll with it. So Vampyr is about a doctor in 1918, I want to say. I can't confirm that. But anyway, so you play a doctor. And as with all doctors, you've got that what's that thing that they live by? It's like an oath.
The creed.
The solemn creed of a doctor.
The
Yes.
Hippocratic Oath.
That's the one. So you're constantly living by that, and you've sort of got to weigh up whether you want to be a vampire that kills people and, you know, like sort of fulfills that need, or if you're going to keep with that oath.
I feel like that's a very easy decision.
Is it?
Do you live or do you follow some bullshit rules that some
Well, there's other
Greek
ways.
dude made a few years back?
There's other ways to live, though.
Nah, how, mate? Are you a vampire? Do you know?
Don't tell anyone.
Get me out of this room. Yeah, no, it's a good concept. It's a very, very good concept.
My one problem with this is us as gamers, we will like thrive on details, concepts in any game, right? So, you know,
Yeah,
you
I
follow?
thrive on things. Yeah,
Good. So the idea of having to walk this balance and walk the line of, you know, whether you want to play good or bad, you know, all this sort of stuff, that's all well and good. We'll play it for like 10 minutes. But but sooner or later, we're going to come to just going,
I'm gonna go bad.
yeah, fuck it, let's go on a spree.
Yeah, let's kill.
Let's kill literally like
Everyone.
everyone I'm seeing. It affects the world around you. Great. I want to see it affect the world around me by
Yeah,
killing
Kingdom
10
Come.
people. Yeah, exactly like that.
Yeah.
Why,
I-
like we're gonna play like that. Like even like stealthy games, you know, like you can take the stealthy route or you can blow the shit out of everything. You'll do the stealthy route for a bit. You might enjoy that. But then you're going to be blowing the shit out of everything as well. So
100%.
that's what I feel when I look this up.
Well, me personally, my biggest qualm as a gamer, a game about vampires, is all these fucking vampires have been turned to shit these days. Let's be honest. Vampires have been messed up. They're all sparkly now, and it's all about that sex. Vampires have gone to shit by teens and goths. not so much goths, but mostly teens. Vampires used to be the coolest shit, man. Back in the day when I was like, I don't know, 10. I'm just picking a random age. Vampires were sick.
What did you... Since we're talking about vampires, what did you think of like the whole Underworld and not...
I actually never watched Underworld. I've watched the first one, or I've watched half of the first one.
Alright, okay, so Blade? That's kind of vampire?
Fucking froth Blade.
Yeah, alright.
Best movies, bro.
Cool.
Well, not the best, but I froth Blade.
Yeah.
And the fact that they want to remake Blade, I know this is on a tangent now, but the fact that they want to remake Blade and not use Wesley Snipes is just blasphemy. Unless they use, like, Eldris Iber or someone.
I think Eldris Iber
someone relevant today
would be the only good person.
But anyway, so vampires have been wrecked. So I really hope this game sort of like brings it back.
Well, I think it will. Their portrayal in this is just mint. It's awesome. If you haven't seen a trailer for this game, watch a trailer, watch some gameplay footage. The combat style
looks sick.
Looks amazing.
The combos and everything.
You know, you'll never know until you get your hands on a copy of the game and you're playing it, how it feels, but it looks incredible.
Just go on their website and go to like the news section. They've got all their screenshots, all the gameplay trailers, all the cinematic trailers, and just watch all of them. Just binge. It's fantastic.
You can really get hooked into this world, I think. Like, I really want to just dive in and just...
Yeah, I want to spend a lot of time there.
Yeah.
I love like free roaming, those sort of shitty city sort of things.
I don't know what it is.
And especially more when I can just fucking attack anyone.
Yeah.
Which you can. You can attack vampires to help people.
Yep.
Or you can attack people because you're a fucking vampire.
Yeah. And you can create your own vampires as well, so that's pretty cool. You can pick your person and, you know, fuck them up.
Yeah. Probably won't be doing that.
No?
No,
you like being the lone
Yeah,
the lone
I like being the only one.
The alpha.
Except for the rest of them out there. But
yeah.
I like being... I don't want to share my gift.
So if you see another vampire in-game, are you going to be trying to kill him?
Shit, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I will be the alpha male.
The alpha vamp?
The alpha vamp. Well, vampires can still be male and female and cisgendered and non-binary and all those other things.
There you go.
I'm not getting into that.
No.
Let's move on from that.
Yeah, that's a little too PC. Let's not touch that.
Yeah. But it looks like a fantastic game. There's been a lot of time going to it because this was like, I don't know, 2016, I think so. Was first announced. So at least 2 years. And obviously the rest more on top of that. But they've spent a long time sort of crafting it. So I hope it's good.
And their development team actually went from, I think it was about 60 to 80 as the game sort of picked up as well.
Which is a very good move. Just the fact that they need to increase their numbers sort of shows that they want to put the effort in properly.
Yeah, exactly. They're not going to half-ass it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that should
No
be
Man's
good.
Sky.
You got to let go, man.
I'm hung up.
You got to let go.
Yeah. All right.
Speaking of a No Man's Sky-esque release...
Sea of Thieves?
Sea of Thieves, man.
What
right
a
on
dud.
it. I know. Well, not necessarily.
I can't say that. I haven't actually played it properly.
It still looks fun, but post-release, there's been a lackluster in content.
I think...
Obviously. It's a massive open world, predominantly water-based. Yeah, you're going to have a little lack of content.
One of the biggest issues it's facing at the moment is a lack of people. Nobody wants to play it because there's nobody playing it, and then it's just a vicious circle of continuing like that.
Yeah, I mean, I hate games that depend on other players, because I know myself, I am not a dependable player.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, I'll play when I want to play, and that's it. Like, you know, you can't get me regularly playing games.
But
so...
you can get paired up with randoms. Like, it's not a matter of you need to play with friends.
No, I know, but...
Which is fine, but it's just... Everything's funner with friends.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That's just... That's just common sense.
Yeah, it's just how it is. So yeah, but apparently they're going to be rolling out some new content, some more interesting AI enemies and stuff like that.
Oops.
Just fuck up our table here, man.
I just punched it. It's not my fault.
Yeah, so they're going to be bringing in some more interesting stuff to fill in the blanks, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is cool, I guess. We'll see how the reception goes with that, or it might just be a null issue with, no players to comment on it.
Yeah. I think like one of the biggest issues they're facing is, like you said, a lack of content. And just the fact that there's not enough people on the servers means like
it's
the people
not interesting.
and the people playing it are going to be against you. Like you'll just be sailing around and someone will just come and fuck up your shit.
And that'll be that.
Yeah. So like I love PvP only games. Like they're fantastic because of what they try and do, but at the same time, like if I'm destitute, if I've lost everything, stop throwing stuff at me.
Yeah. I'm still interested, I'll say that, but it's not looking like it's going well. That's the problem. So and that even impacts because I've seen the lack of players and all that sort of stuff. I'm even less inclined to buy the game myself now.
Well, that's been my biggest hold up about buying it personally. Like I played my brother's copy, but my biggest problem with buying it is I want to play with my friends and I've got no one buying it to play with.
Yeah.
And then they're not doing that because I'm not buying it. It's again just a circle.
It's just a circle. It's just it's no good. No good. So they walk a fine line, whether it'll work or it won't.
Yeah.
I had high hopes, but no dice. I wanted to think of something pirate related to say just then, but I just couldn't.
No booty.
Fuck. Damn you, sir.
Let's move on from that shit. This thing's gonna suck to edit.
Nah, man, she be aight.
Just fucking leave everything in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She be aight.
Anyway, like I said, getting off pirates and onto pirates. Want to talk about the solo trailer?
That was a terrible segue.
Well, pirate, smuggler.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm on board.
Shut up.
So the full trailer was released sometime this week. It's it's there. It's cool. Like
it's the exact same length as the teaser trailer as well. By the by,
it's a bit longer. It's got the same scenes. Cool Bart in it. Lando's now vocal.
It's got the I thought you said Cool Bart, and I was like, who the fuck's that?
Yeah, Cool Bart.
Yeah.
You know?
Is that the dude in the
pirate
sand?
smuggler?
Right. Does he smuggle pirates?
Yeah, he's a pirate smuggler.
Yeah, Lando actually speaks in this, which is nice.
Yeah, I just want the movie to be out so I can have my
proper judgment. I'm
sick of waiting so long, speculating for so long, then having these little trailers. It's not enough.
Yeah, I feel you.
We don't have high hopes for this movie. I don't think anyone has high hopes for this movie.
Not really, and I feel bad about that because I do.
So do I.
Everyone wants a Kenobi movie at the moment, and I remember, I don't know, a couple of years ago when Rogue One was first announced, and everyone sort of went, they're doing all these offshoot trailers. We'll probably get a solo trailer. We'll probably get a solo movie. Let's have a solo movie.
Yeah.
And now everyone's going, well, fuck solo movie. I mean, if you're not having Harrison Ford, what's the point?
I keep seeing
No offense to Alden.
Yeah. I keep seeing people go just get Harrison Ford to do it and we'll just pretend.
Yeah, I do feel bad for Alden though. Like he's got to come up against a lot of prejudice.
Yeah, it's just not good. I really hope for his sake it's good. I hope for Beano's sake it's good.
Anything Beano does is good.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter whether the movie's crap. It'll still be good because Beano's in it.
Well, him in those trailers, pretty perfect.
Yeah.
He's such a suave. He's got it.
He's such a suave human.
He's really got it.
He's got everything.
Yeah, man.
He can be anything he likes in this life, and that's why I admire him.
jealous.
But he was doing an interview, and he sort of said, "No, you don't want to recreate Billy," because the interviewer asked,
Yeah.
"Are you just trying to do what Billy D. Williams did?" And he goes, "Well, no, because then it's not a good tribute."
Well, no, not really. And you want to see... I mean, any character is going to have growth. You can't expect to be the same person. What... Okay, speculation. How far, in the past is this? How previous would this be to, let's say,
To
Empire?
A New Hope or...
Well, Empire, because...
To Empire?
Well, because Lando's in Empire. I'm
Oh,
saying.
okay. Well, it's a fair few years. Like,
It must be.
Han knew Lando a long time before he met him again at Bespin.
Yep.
And yeah, won the Millennium Falcon off him in a game of cards.
Judging by how dirty the thing is, it must be some substantial amount of time.
Yeah, yeah.
So, like, I mean, I can get where he's coming from because you want to see growth in characters. There's
Yeah.
no point just doing the same thing.
Like, I think it's set before Rogue One. I'm pretty sure. Definitely, I mean, not. I'm pretty sure it's definitely set before
Yeah.
Rogue One.
Well, there is a scene. I mean, base Corellia, Han Solo's home planet.
Yeah.
It's an Imperial occupied planet, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
during the Empire.
Yeah. So, I mean, in one of the scenes, you see a Star Destroyer being constructed. Do you reckon that could be like some of the first Star Destroyers, or is it just it's just a construction?
No, well, a lot of the Star Destroyers were old Republic ships.
Yeah.
So it's no. I would say it's probably maybe 10 years after Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Like, Han would have been young when the Empire first came about.
Yeah, yeah. He would have been. I think he was about 6 off memory in Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. Oh, I can't know. I
Yeah.
don't know off the top of my head, but
Yeah.
it's set a fair bit. It's
Yeah.
set before the TV show Rebels as well, I think.
Yeah, so I'm happy to have like these characters be slightly different. Like some callbacks would be good, and like to see them grow as characters. It would be good.
There was one very nice scene in the trailer where Han asks Chewie a question. Chewie responds in Wookiee speak,
Yep.
Shire Wook for all you nerds.
Yep.
And then Han just responds back with like, "Yeah, well, what do you know?" And it's just that sarcastic banter between Han and Chewie. I love that.
It is pretty classic. So
Oh, and there was one scene in the trailer where Alden looks exactly like Harrison Ford.
yeah, you pointed that out to me. You paused it.
I couldn't get over it, man. He looks so much like him, and that actually gives me a lot of hope that he's going to do well.
Yeah.
And like I said in the first episode, Doe. I'm getting into that street speak. Like I said in the first episode, though, if the scripting is bad, it doesn't matter how good Alden does.
Yep.
And the movie's not good.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
I mean, I don't think anyone hopes for a bad Star Wars movie. And like my only thing with the character and what these trailers, like you see a lot of that suave Han Solo swagger, right? You see a lot of that, but there's also a lot of him looking off, I don't know, smoldering.
But you
You know.
can't put that down to bad acting because
no,
you
not
got to
at all.
remember this is what we're just speculating. Let's say 20 years.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to change a lot in 20 years to learn those suave mannerisms, and this is before he's a smuggler. So this is before he's got to act all coy and all that sort of shit.
True.
To learn those suave mannerisms, yeah, that could definitely be in 20 years' time.
Yep.
And he might have gotten by on his good looks and all that sort of stuff, smoldering, as you just put, to get by. And that's so you can't say, oh well, Alden didn't act exactly like Harrison Ford.
Oh no.
You can't do that.
I'm just hoping it's not too heavy.
Yeah, just for
Like-
any critics in the future, you can't do that.
Yeah, no. It is a completely different character, really.
Exactly.
With the amount of time, like
Exactly.
You know,
like I look back to what I was like 2 years ago, and I was a completely different person.
Yeah.
Like it's time.
exactly. So
I'm starting to get a bit more optimistic about it.
me too, actually, which is surprising. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, it's not like the trailers have done anything massive for us.
Yeah. For me, it's more. I remember Rogue One, and I remember how much everyone sort of was trashing on Rogue One, and then the first reviews started coming in. They're like, "Oh, this is actually really good." And then I watched Rogue One, and contrary to being a diehard Star Wars fan, like most diehard Star Wars fans, I
All
loved
of
it.
them. Yeah.
I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping they do well with it.
Yeah, so do I.
And that's what's giving me hope.
One thing that I would like to mention about all these trailers.
A new hope. Yeah.
That's pretty good, actually. I gotta give it to you. The color palette. It's very bland.
Yeah, I'm not that. I feel exactly the same. Like none of these planets are drawing me in.
Like, Corellia, yeah, I sort of understand that. The mining planet that they go to, where that big tentacle thing is Attack of the Falcon. I
Yep.
think, yeah, I get that because it's a mining planet. Like, I get all of that, but I don't know. I feel like I need that Rey moment from The Force Awakens where she's like, oh, I didn't know there was so much green in the world. I'm going to need one of those scenes to break this movie up.
100%, you need those different planets because you look at Return of the Jedi.
Yep.
Starts off on Tatooine.
Yep.
So you got this real muted planet.
Mhm.
And then you go to Yavin 4, this real green, lush planet.
Wait, what?
No, you go to Endor. My bad.
Oh, that's...
Yeah. No, I just saw a picture of Yavin 4 and it made me think about it.
Brush past it.
You go to Rogue One. You
Yep.
start off on this real muted planet. I can't remember the name of it for the life of me, but
Oh, man.
where Jin was a kid.
Yeah.
But then you go to Scarif, this real bright planet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go The Force Awakens. It's a real dark sort of area, but then you go to I'm struggling with the planet names. Where Luke
really
is.
are.
The Scottish Islands.
Yeah, the Scottish Star Wars islands.
I just remember where it is. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm not a real Star Wars fan.
Yeah, like another movie that does it well, like that's not Star Wars, Guardians of the Galaxy. They've
Yep.
got great variety. Like it is a very vibrant movie on the whole, but they've got shit point
Yep.
dull color palette, and then it goes to this vibrant scene. So
Yeah.
I'm
For sure.
really hoping I get blown away by something.
Some nice planet.
Yeah,
that-
some really
a
nice
planet
planet.
you want to go to, a planet you want to visit.
Yes, exactly. That's what I love about some of these things. It's just okay, Rogue One, since you mentioned it, for example, that was that filming location for Scarif.
Yeah, you want to go to the Maldives.
Yeah,
because
it's the
of it.
Maldives. I want to go to the Maldives with a stormtrooper outfit and run around and just have fucking fun.
Exactly.
So, I want that.
The thing about Rogue One is I'm sure a lot of the planets they choose and the color palettes, as you said, is symbolic. Like they move from the real dark planet where Jin is,
Yep.
which is when all the bad shit's happening and mum dies, her dad gets taken away, yada yada. They move to a lighter planet, but still a desert-ridden planet. Fuck.
Where the Jedi Temple is.
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
And that's slightly lighter, but it's still very arid. And then you move to Scarif, where all this bad shit's happening, but that's where their hope comes from.
Yeah.
That's where the new light of the fucking rebellion is coming from, is that bright planet.
Yep.
And then I think they might be trying to do that in Solo. It's a dark world. The Empire's got full control. This is at the height of the Empire's power.
Yeah.
This is when all the bad shit is really starting that people are hating the Empire for.
Yep.
So I think that's why the color palette is so muted.
Yeah, I can see that. But what I'm also wondering about is towards the end of this movie, what kind of person are we going to have? We all love Han Solo as a character, but A New Hope Han
But he a
Solo,
dick?
he's a dick. He is a scoundrel. He just, he shoots straight up.
Yeah.
He's got no remorse. He is in it for himself. It's A New Hope that sort of changes the character and lets the audience grow with him.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, is he gonna be this straight up, or are we gonna see why he's such a scoundrel? I think it's gonna be the latter.
Yeah, I sort of hope that they do sort of lead into that. But otherwise, fans will just make up their own shit anyway.
Yeah.
Or he's working for Jabba, he's got to be a scoundrel. That sort of stuff.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, something else to note, Woody Harrelson's character hasn't really expanded.
What a Harrelson.
Harrelson. Hey man, this is as bad as you with Alden Einrich.
Olden.
Alden?
You mean Olden?
Alden. Fuck, we gotta stop doing that. His character hasn't really been expanded in this trailer, but we see an unnecessary origin for a certain blaster.
I saw an unnecessary toupee on Woody's head.
He should just be bald, shouldn't he?
Yeah. Just be you, Woody.
Just do you, man.
Yeah, but you get that sweet origin of the DL-44 Heavy Blaster,
Yeah,
which I had
he's
no interest in.
Kissing it goodbye, giving it to Han.
I suppose that's nice. It gives some sentimental value to the weapon he's always used.
I just hope they don't make it a big thing.
And then he just goes, fuck this weapon, I'll use the bowcaster.
Yeah, The Force Awakens. Just before his death, he's like, yeah, you know what? This sucks. There's other things out there.
Yeah, I hope it's not a big thing because it's a fucking gun.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. When I was playing Battlefront, it was very easy to get a DL-44. If you want to make this gun super special to Han was a playable character. Just leave it be Han's gun. You know what I mean?
That's
Don't
true.
make it a usable gun by any person.
Yeah. I actually really enjoyed using the DL-44 though.
Oh, same. It was my favorite gun in the game.
Yeah.
But my point is, like, if you're gonna make this a special gun
Yep.
and give it significant sentimental value, yada yada yada, just make it a specific gun. Like, you know.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, moving on to other movies. Woody Harrelson is also stop in Venom. I'm gonna
Sorry.
just plug on.
Yeah, just keep going.
He's in Venom.
Well, rumored.
Rumored to be.
He's on IMDb in Venom, but he's not a character.
Yeah. So he could be. What are we thinking? I reckon a government official.
A government official.
Yeah.
Well,
Straight up.
the rumor that I saw was that he was going to be Carnage.
What?
Carnage, yeah. Which I love. I actually, when I first heard it, I sort of went, Woody, really?
Yeah,
But then I sort of thought back to all the Cletus Cassidy iterations that I've seen, and I think he'll do really well. He's sort of got that country. I was going to say redneck, but he's sort of got that country swagger that Cletus has got.
Yep.
And he's got a very angry personality in the likes of Zombieland, that sort of stuff that he can pull across pretty well. So I think he'll do pretty good if that's the case.
Is he too old, possibly?
No, I don't reckon. As long as his personality fits, I don't reckon there is a specific age on Cletus, you know?
That's fair.
Like, Peter Parker's got teen to early adult sort of age.
Yep.
You sort of need to cast in that range. But Cletus, I reckon he's pretty good.
Does this excite you that possibly Carnage will be in the movie, or would you rather they wait?
Well, I'd rather they wait because Venom...
It's Venom's movie.
Yeah,
like
Carnage was... Venom came about from a fan submission of a villain and was turned into an actual villain, one of the most successful popular villains from that fan submission, right?
Mm-hmm.
Carnage is just the natural offshoot of trying to capitalize on that fucking money.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Like, he's a more vicious, a more crazy villain.
Slightly stronger, isn't he?
No, I think he's about the same.
Okay.
But he's a more vicious and crazy symbiote as well.
Mm.
But again, he's just a cash capitalization.
Yeah, just a different version of the main character.
So you need that time frame of Venom to get established before Carnage shoots off. If you know what I mean. Like, now there's a fuckload of symbiotes everywhere, same as there's a fuckload of Spider-Men and women. Like, it's natural that you're going to capitalize on that coin.
Yeah, I see. But I don't know. Like, I'm trying to picture where this movie is going to go because from all accounts by the trailers and all the synopsis.
Which, by the way, there was a trailer that we saw online, but we're skeptical as to whether it's legit or not.
I'm hella skeptical, man. I actually think they're pieces of
Spider-Man 3. Yeah.
Like, the only good bits.
The only good bits, you mean all the Harry Osborn scenes?
Oh,
the new Goblin.
New Goblin.
Hey,
but,
Yeah, you go.
Like, I'm just thinking, like, is it just going to be a movie about Tom Hardy dealing with Venom and then sort of, like, getting into it? Or, like, is there going to be a villain? Like, because it could easily just be a movie about Venom becoming Venom and sort of that's it.
I really hope that is the case. I don't want them to go... Like, I know Venom's a hero now. Well, anti-hero. Mm-hmm. And Venom's an occasional assister of Spider-Man, but I don't want them to go that straight away. I want Venom to become Venom, deal with being Venom, be a fucking villain, and then be something for Spider-Man to overcome later.
You reckon Spider-Man's going to be in the movie?
It's actually rumored that he will be. Tom Holland is on IMDb in the movie.
Yep.
But, you know...
That could just be newspaper clips or...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, or a news program or something like that.
Yeah, very easily.
Speaking of rumors, something I've been meaning to spitball off you. So, Gunke. Is it Gunke?
Who?
Spidey's friend in Homecoming, like his bestie. The guy in the chair.
Can't actually remember.
Okay, so I was hella wrong. It is Ned Leeds. I say Gunke because Gunke is Ultimate Spider-Man, Miles Morales' best friend, in a very similar fashion to what Ned Leeds is in Spider-Man Homecoming. And Ned Leeds in the actor actually looks a lot like Gunke, and he's got very similar characteristics.
So is Ned Leeds an actual character in the Spider-Man canon?
I'm about to get to that.
Oh.
So if you go to the Marvel Universe 606, which is the canonical Marvel Universe in comics,
yep.
Ned Leeds actually becomes Hobgoblin.
What?
Yeah, the Harry Osborn spoof that I said before made me think of it. But Ned Leeds actually becomes Hobgoblin. Like, he finds Harry Osborn's
That's insane.
stuff. Yeah, so...
Do you reckon... Let's go full speculation. Do you reckon it's just like he might get resentful of like Peter and Spider-Man?
Well, you can see it in Homecoming already. Like, when Spidey doesn't rock up to that house party, and Ned's sort of on his own, like, what the fuck? Or when they're at the Washington the Washington Memorial, yeah.
Yep.
And he's on the phone to him, like, "Where are you?" Yeah. You start to see a little bit of that.
Wow. On my next rewatch, I'm gonna watch this with such speculation.
It could just be a throwaway.
Yeah, it
like,
could
100%.
be, but yeah, I'm gonna read into that way too much, obviously.
I just realized then that I said Ned finds Harry Osborn stuff. He doesn't. He finds Norman Osborn stuff. But anyway, regardless, if he does become it, I think the actor himself will need to change quite dramatically because he's a bigger guy.
Yes.
To put it nicely. And it'd be weird seeing a bigger guy like that on a glider, if you know what I mean.
It kind of would.
I'm sure he'd do well. I'm sure he'd do fine and all that sort of stuff. And that could just be something that they're leaving there as a little nugget.
Yep.
As a little seed, a little kernel, for if they want to do something in the future. If they want,
it's possible.
And there's every chance that nothing will happen.
Yeah.
Because this is like way in the future. Like, this guy, Ned Leeds, is actually married to Betty Brant, who is...
isn't she the receptionist?
Yeah, at the Daily Bugle.
Yeah, the assistant.
Yep.
Yep.
He also works at the Daily Bugle. So there's a whole lot of like future stuff, and Peter's not even out of school yet.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's what I'm hoping they sort of do with this Spider. Like, regardless of other Marvel movies and big Marvel team ups and events, like, I would just love a good set of Spider-Man movies to evolve with Tom Holland and Ned's actor. Sorry, I don't know his name. Growing up and sort of. Yeah, I don't know.
Jacob Batalon.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, I would love to see them sort of evolve. Like, it sort of happened in other Spider-Man movies, but not really. It time jumped a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
In the old ones. It was just sort of like, yeah, he is a high school student, but he looks 25 and he's out of school now.
It's because he was 25.
Well, exactly.
Good old Tugboat Maguire was cast pretty old.
Yeah. So that's what I'm really hoping for. And if you've ever watched the Ultimate Spider-Man TV show, that is a great show.
It is a very good show.
Like, obviously, that's involved with a bigger team.
Obviously, it's very childish as well.
Yeah, it is.
But it's still fucking... It's so accurate, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah, and I'd love all these adventures to carry on with the movie, because I'm happy with this Spider-Man. I'm happy with the portrayal of both Peter Parker and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Which is...
To get way back on topic, I hope that Carnage doesn't come in too early.
Yes, also that.
Now, Connor and I are going to open up a Segway dealership because we got Segways galore in this episode, because now let's move on to Spider-Man PS4. There's a release date.
Yes, there is.
September 7th. They finally put a release date on that, and because it's been like fucking 2 or 3 years in the making now.
Very exciting.
Since they announced it.
I can't believe it took them this long to announce an actual official date.
Well, yeah, that's a good thing in my opinion, though. It shows that they're putting the effort in.
Yeah, they're ready to go. Yep, this is when it's gonna happen.
I think they're finally putting the effort into a good Spider-Man game.
There's been plenty of good Spider-Man games.
Not for a long time.
Actually, yeah, you're right.
Not for a long time.
Yeah, the Amazing we've spoken about this before on the pod. The Amazing Spider-Man games were okay, but only because they're Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's literally just the name that brings people to it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'll have to let my wife know that I need a PS4 before September then.
Yeah, you got to get that sorted. But in my opinion, like, Sony, if you can't nail this game, the amount of hype you put out about it, amount of, like, the trailers look good, everything looks good. You've had ample time. I'd be happy for you to put it off as well.
Yeah.
Like, if you could just make it work. But Sony, if you cannot nail this, just pack it in.
Yep.
Retire Spider-Man.
Yep. There is no one not excited for this game. Like, every nerdy related gamer friend that I've spoken to, even the ones that just play FIFA, are pretty keen for this game, Like,
yeah, like everyone I know that plays games, everyone I know that loves Spider-Man, all the reviews I've read online,
yep.
they want this.
And they want it to be good.
They want it hard.
So,
Whole hog.
Here's to hoping.
I don't think we got a segue for the next topic, so...
No.
Let's think of one. All right. I got the segue.
Okay.
Speaking of games...
Wow. I'm invested with this hook.
And game development companies.
Okay.
Let's move on to our topic of the week.
Were you wanting me to say that with you?
I was hoping you would.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Let's move on to that. So, topic of the week this week, Rocksteady. So we all know,
great company,
and yeah, exactly. We all know and love Rocksteady from the Arkham games.
Yep,
stellar games. Basically, introduced a lot of people to Batman.
Yeah. Expanded their world like so.
Yep. Showed well and truly showed you can make a good superhero game.
Yeah. It is possible.
I know Batman's not super, but he's a hero, and you can make a good superhero game. Rocksteady's done very good. Very well. And I think they very, very much solidified one of the two kinds of fighting in games. Those two...
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know how you pick up a game of that nature. I wouldn't know what you call that.
Third.
So the genre of the game is sort of action-adventure sort of game. But you pick up an action-adventure game, and you've sort of got this... As a gamer, you've got this instinctive feeling or knowledge of how to play the game. Like you play Batman Arkham, you know what you're going to do. You play Shadow of Mordor, you know what you're going to do.
Witcher,
you know what you're going to do. So that's like the other sort of side. Is you got your sword fighting sort of thing, and then you got your whatever.
Hitting.
Your simple combat, sort of like Spiderman.
Yeah,
that's our segue.
Boom.
I think Arkham really solidified that.
Yeah.
And Rocksteady was sort of the guys that pioneered that.
Yeah, that combat from way back in Arkham Asylum was just mind-blowing. It was great. Yeah, I can't remember when it came out.
2009.
Oh, there you go.
Which is nearly 10 years ago.
That's insane. And that combat system has just... It hasn't really evolved too much, but it's carried out through a lot of games.
It hasn't changed.
No.
It's just relatively the same thing we're doing now in, not now, but Arkham Knight.
Yep.
It's the exact same combat, and it's just as fucking fun.
Yeah, exactly. Like you were saying, Shadow of Mordor. That uses the same system.
Exact same.
But I think they can do that because Warner Brothers Montreal made Arkham Origins.
Yeah.
So they were able to use that fighting system from that. So they can translate it straight into...
Looking at The Amazing Spider-Man for PS4. Amazing Spider-Man 2, sorry.
Yes.
Again, not a great game, but almost the exact same combat.
Yep.
Press X to... square to attack.
Yep.
Triangle to counter. And then you've got a few little combo things in there as well. So it's almost the exact same combat.
Yeah.
So
it's been used in mass. It is a great system. That dynamic combat where you've got multiple enemies. Assassin's Creed, for another instance, it's sort of... For a long time, they used a similar thing. You counter, you've got your attack. It's changed now with Origins, but it's still a good fighting system regardless.
Yeah.
Provided the enemies give you enough of a challenge, which in Arkham they certainly did.
Yeah. So anyway, Rocksteady. Our topic of the week isn't just Rocksteady. It's Rocksteady and what we think their next move should be. What we think they should tackle next.
Well, after the release of Arkham Knight and them saying this is going to be the last Batman game, which
I don't think it will be, but yeah.
It sort of wasn't. They brought out VR Arkham, and I'm pretty sure that was Rocksteady.
Yeah, exactly. Can we all say cash cow? They're not just going to give that up.
I still would want to play that, though.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I think it was about an hour's worth of game.
I'm okay with whatever they want to put out. AC gets put out every fucking year, and I still buy it every fucking year.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to take Batman every fucking year.
So, a lot of people were saying Superman.
Fuck no.
Fuck no.
Fuck no. There has not been a good Superman game.
No. The only Superman game I've enjoyed was Superman Returns. It was released in 2006 with the release of Superman Returns movie. Both nothing special. Movie and game. But... the thing that game sort of offered and, my 8-year-old self liked about it was flying around as Superman and just
Yeah.
flying around the city.
A lot of those superhero games, that it's purely just you get to be that character.
Yeah.
It's a trash game. Like I played
It is a bad game.
I played Superman N64, and
Oh
all
my
I did was just
God.
fly around as Superman. Like
Yeah.
I didn't play the game in any way. I just enjoyed flying around as Superman.
Yeah. So, like, I feel with Superman as a character, the reason I don't think anyone, unless they've got a real solid way of doing it, and like it's really well thought out, no one should be tackling that. Because the only thing you get out of it is that flying around as the character.
I 100% agree with you. And see, Batman works in his combat flow because he's better than the enemies, sure. Like he's stronger, he's faster, and he's more trained.
Yeah.
But he's still at their level.
Yeah.
You can't surround Superman with thugs and have him flow combat around hitting them because he'll just fucking
nothing.
He doesn't need to do that,
No.
and he's too fast.
Yeah,
as well.
you couldn't work the speed into it.
Yeah.
Same as like if you had a Flash game, you're just too fast.
Yeah, you couldn't
too overpowered.
You couldn't do a Flash game well.
No.
Like the Flash games would just turn into like the old Incredibles game where you're playing as Dash and all you do is just run through the city.
Yeah.
That would be the Flash game.
Yeah, exactly. So it's sort of hard to move into another superhero sort of base. You could, as long as it's low level. Now you had a game that you wanted made.
I had an
in the
idea
day.
a while back. This was when Arrow was at its height.
Yeah.
And I thought an Arrow game. Because
I think that would work.
you could do combat in a very similar fashion.
Yep.
Because
it's-
let's be honest, he hits people more than he fires his bow.
Yeah, it's low level ground combat.
Yeah, his bow can turn into batarangs. Like
Yep.
I'm not saying a direct port. I'm just saying the potential capabilities are right there.
Yeah. You can use as much as I don't like this in the show, he has a grappling ability with his bow.
I don't like it in the show because it looks bad in the show, but
Yeah.
like that's a staple of Green Arrow.
Yeah.
So you can't.
But the thing is like, how would you do it? Would you do it so you can go up the grapple, or would it just be sort of like traversing down?
I would say potentially both. Like you couldn't do like the glide system that Batman's got. But you could definitely grapple to the top of a building and then from there grapple on.
Yep.
Like you could
What
do
about-
a similar thing to like what Breath of the Wild's got, where if you're jumping and you aim down your sights of your arrow, you slow down time.
Yep.
So you could grapple up, fly over the building a little bit, and then grapple onto the next thing, provided you've got similar to the line launcher in Batman Arkham.
Yes.
If you've got two buildings beside you, you
Yeah.
can set yourself up and continue on in that manner.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like
so,
that.
yeah, I was going to say also like AC Syndicate.
Yes, yes,
They had
exactly.
the line launcher, and they just traveled up it. Like they just used the momentum of their body and their
Yeah.
muscles to get up it. So I think that could work. And it would
Oliver
look alright
Queen-
in the game.
Well, yeah, and that's set in what's that, 1900s again?
Yeah, exactly.
And Oliver Queen, being a billionaire in the modern age, can easily get like a self-propelling system.
Yeah, I mean that'd be great. Like it could still be that fast, like travel that's not going to bore the death out of you. Like gliding in Arkham is pretty fun. So this will sort of replace that.
Yeah, and like there's other options for you as well. Like again, you can have Deathstroke in the game. You can directly port it to you can have it in the same world as Arkham.
I
Deathstroke's there.
would be totally happy with that. And I think Deathstroke, you could really expand on it. Like Arkham Origins, with their main cinematic trailer, they released Deathstroke as fighting Batman, and that was such a hype thing. That was so good. And then he was in it for what? 5 minutes of gameplay.
And even if they wanted to do a direct port, it would still really work. Like Green Arrow's got cryo arrows. There goes your freeze
Exactly.
grenades. Or he's got glue arrows. He's got all the same shit. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he's got all the the trick, sort of gadgets.
Detonating arrows.
I would love that. Like, and if you can because Green Arrow is such a good archer, you could do that whole slow down time as you're aiming down your sight. You could do that reasonably. Like, it's not a power of his. It's just something to help the game, make you feel more like the character a little bit.
Exactly. And I'm aware that a lot of it would turn into more of a first-person shooter, but if you actively and combine the shooting to the combat, to the hand-to-hand combat then you got a fucking stellar game. Like, I'm trying to think off the top of my head games that have both first-person and combat.
There is a game out there. Shit, I played it recently. AC Origins.
Yep.
They did that with a Predator bow.
Yep.
It was the only bow you could use it with, but I mean, it sort of worked.
It worked well. Like, you jump off and you felt fucking badass. You
Oh,
jump off
hell
a
yeah.
building, slow down time, snipe some peeps,
Yeah.
and just keep running. It's boss, man.
Yeah, and then you can keep fighting with that close combat. You know, you've got the options.
And like, there's plenty of games out there that has actual hand-to-hand combat as well as shooting, like Deadpool, the Deadpool game.
I haven't played it, but I've always wanted to.
It's got plenty of shooting. It's got plenty of hand-to-hand combat, and it flows pretty well. And I think, like, because of the nature of Arrow or Green Arrow, depending which universe they wanted to pull from, like, obviously I thought of this back when Arrow was at its height, and now it's died off a lot, but you could easily do Green Arrow.
Yeah.
But because of the nature of Green Arrow, he is stealthy. So you could do the stealth scenes just
Yep.
as easy, like the Predator scenes in Batman Arkham.
Yeah.
And like, a lot of this I'm going to directly port to Batman Arkham because they've done it. They proved they can do it. It's similar to how Rockstar's got GTA and then they've got Red Dead Redemption. It's
Yeah.
the exact same game in a different setting.
Yeah.
And
And as long as the storyline is good enough to hook you,
it works fucking perfect.
yeah, you're happy with the gameplay because, you know, it's still fun
Yeah.
and interesting enough. And if you give it a good enough storyline, it'll be sweet. My one thing, if we're talking about porting from Arkham, detective vision. What would you do for Green Arrow? Well, because Batman is you have the
He's a
detective
detective,
side.
yeah.
So you have that side of it in the game. Is what could you fill in? You know, with Green Arrow. I mean,
That's a good question.
he's got Felicity. You know,
Yeah, he's got Felicity
so
Smoke.
he's got his team to back him up and help him do
He
the
does.
research.
He
but
does do
how-
some detective work.
Yeah. So
Um,
can you just port that in? Can you just put that in the game and just say, yeah, he does a bit of detective?
All right, so bear with me. So you got Catwoman. She's got thief vision. It's
Okay.
relatively the exact same thing, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think you need all the detective scenes. Like, you know how Batman
No.
follows blood trails and all that sort of stuff. Like, you
Yep.
could still sort of do that and then just tack it onto Felicity's guiding you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in terms of like tagging a person or eagle vision, so you can see that person, I think it's very easy to just do like a lens.
Yeah, you could just base it on some form of technology that that they've Queen
Yeah.
Industries has
Like
developed.
in Arrow, in the Arrowverse, he gets from Cisco, he gets a new mask. There's nothing to say that mask doesn't have some sort of
Yeah.
actual tech capabilities in it.
And I think you would still need that. Like, as much as I don't like the trope of always being able to see where your enemies are, because it's not realistic.
That's what it is these days.
But it is. And
Yeah.
and for you to feel
I
like you're playing the game and you're playing it well, it's sort of one of those things that you need to be in control.
like the fact that it doesn't tag people in, say, just in Arkham. It doesn't tag
Yeah.
people, so you need to have it physically active for it to work.
Yes.
And like, once I've finished the game to death, like, I played Batman Arkham City at least 7 times, finished it at least 7 times, new game included, and I still continue to play it. I started putting self-imposed challenges on myself. Like, I'd try and take out the game without taking out the radar jammer.
Yeah.
Or I'd try playing the game without using detective vision at all. Or I'd try playing the game with only doing environmental takedown, stuff like that.
See, it's crazy. It's a funny thing that, like, the game developers probably never intended for you to do that.
Well, they sort of do with the challenges a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, but, like...
But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's the same with like Far Cry Outposts.
Yep.
But the thing about it is, I much prefer to play the game not using detective vision, just because the visuals, the world you're in,
Oh, yeah.
I froth it, and like. But when you spend the whole game in detective vision because you're scared of a crazy a silent patient around the corner, it spoils it a little bit. And I
Yeah.
think if you're not, and I think it wrecks it a little bit, but you need it these days.
Yeah, the first time I played Arkham Asylum, I did just that. I pretty much lived in detective vision. As soon as there were crazy patients running out, yeah, I lived in detective vision. But like on my second playthrough, well, not second. When I got the remastered versions, I really tried to not do it because I was just enjoying
The world. Yeah,
So-
enjoying the visuals.
Would you keep it set in Starling City?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
You could do a few settings. You could do Arrow 1, the island. Arrow 2, Starling City.
Yeah, you could. They'd be very definitive.
Yeah.
Or would you like to have a mix? So like you'd have a couple of different levels. I know you're not a fan of flashbacks, but would you do like a flashback level? A bit like I like my favorite game series, so I'll always pull from it. Assassin's Creed when they did the modern day world.
Yeah.
Would you insert something like that?
Yeah, as long as it flows well. Like,
Right.
as long as it's not pulling me out of what I'm doing now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it would have to be
Like
set moments.
Yeah, and I reckon it could work.
Yeah.
What was it? Was it Unity where you actually had to go to a particular spot for a flashback and activate it, and then you go back in time and
yeah, Brotherhood did that as well. They did that with like
yeah, so
missions from
100%.
two. So yeah,
as long as it's not like a time based cutscene, and like you play a mission, you finish the mission, and then all of a sudden it takes you back. As long as I've got to go somewhere to activate it, because I might. Because so often, the only time I want to be strolling around the city just free roaming is when it's fucking locked me into a cutscene or a flashback or something like that.
I think you would have to do something similar to what Batman did and launch straight into the character. I wouldn't personally go with him from the island because, I don't know, it just feels too...
I reckon that'd be a good start, actually, because like you could have him struggling for his life, and it shows development of the character. And then,
but I feel like we've done that so many times in like movie adaptations of games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you play that bit at the start, and then let's say you do a new game plus version.
You do it again.
You do it again, and you're like, I don't want to fucking do this. I've done it once.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't particularly want that struggle at the start sort of phase. Like obviously you want to earn new items and level up because that's what keeps you coming back to the game, but yeah, you don't want to be that fucking useless character who can't do anything.
Exactly. So like you need a way to integrate.
Yeah, you
like,
don't want to be Jason Brody at the start of Far Cry 3.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you have anything else that you think Rocksteady might tackle or should tackle? Or are you pretty happy with our Green Arrow port?
Not really. I just really want a Green Arrow game now.
Yeah, cool.
And I think the visuals, like Arkham Knight was amazing visuals.
Yeah.
And that was...
It could be exactly...
That was a couple of years ago. So
So we're actually going to send this podcast straight to Rocksteady and be like, guys...
Please.
Get on it.
We'll put money towards this.
Yeah, chop.
Yeah.
Please. I think that's about all the time we got time for. I keep saying that.
What?
We still don't have an outro either, so don't expect anything solid
now.
You got any outros you want to try out? Yeah, you got any outros you want to try?
I have zilch. It's really disappointing.
Well, all right. We'll try that. So this has been the 8-Bit Idiots. My name is Lindsay.
My name is Connor.
I have zilch.
Yeah, I just don't know how to say goodbye.
Goodbye.